Hello everybody, it's me, Rakia Ray, and I'm the foreseer. And on this channel, we are going to be really diving into the journey of foresee hair, and not just my hair journey, but like the historical journey, the mystery behind our hair. Also the science of our hair. Our hair is really, really interesting, and I'm really excited to share and break down so much of what I've learned, because it really changed the way that I cared for my hair once I knew how the ancients, who had hair similar to mine, lived, and how they treated it and how they cared for it. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful journey, especially when this specific hair type has been targeted. 4C hair has been targeted, and people with it tend to feel like it's hard to handle and it's difficult. And in my travels and in my learning, I've learned that it's not that it's difficult or hard, it's that it's delicate, and we should treat it like that. We should treat our hair as if it's delicate and precious. Delicate things are precious, and so it's like a rose petal or a precious gem. You wouldn't just go throwing it around. You would treat it delicately. And so I'm going to be breaking down that journey with you. And if that's something that you are interested in, as well as how I take care of my microlocs, please go ahead and subscribe and like. And let's go ahead and and dig right in, because today I'm going to be talking about how I retighten my hair, and I'm also going to show you. So I'm just going to let me readjust. I'm just going to find my middle part. There we go. The way that I set up my grid was so that I could part my hair in any direction. I think I'll do a how I parted, how I set up my grid video. So basically, I've pretty much already retightened my hair. You can tell one side is retightened. But I left out a few so I could show you on camera how I retighten my hair. I did my locks so small because I wanted them to mimic my natural curl pattern size. And most of my curls, once they dry, look like this. So I didn't want my locks to be any wider, any thicker than how the curl in my hair grows. And so most of my locks are about the size of the curl that it forms. So I started them with 2-strand twists, and I locked the tips. The hardest part was the parting, to be honest. Anyhow, tools are really important for when you're retightening or starting your locks. I started mine with this, which I got off of Amazon. I don't know what they're called, but it's just a regular microloc tightening tool. That's what I searched. And this is okay, but it was just too big for my locks. If you have bigger locks, that might work for you. And then I found these also on Amazon from Loxsanity. Now these are much smaller, and they're better for me. One comes longer, one comes shorter. And so these are a lot better for me, but I actually prefer a crocheting needle or a knitting needle that I also found on Amazon. What I like about it is it's plastic, and it's just so bendy, so I can really move it so that my hair is not catching other locks. When I was using the bigger lock, because it was so thick at the ends, I was finding myself interlocking my locks together, and that's no bueno. So the smaller tools really help, and I actually prefer this one the most because it's so pliable and bendy. And if I ever need to like widen the hole, I just take a lighter and I just light it for a second, and then I just space it out. but I don't normally need to. So this is the type of crochet. This is the type of needle I use. All right, so a lot of people will talk about the different rotations they use. If you want really tight locks, they say to do a 4-point rotation, but I don't want my locks to be super tight. I like them to have shrinkage, and I like them to move like loose, natural hair. And so I prefer doing like a 2 or 3-point rotation max, because I want my locks loose, you know. Another reason why I was hoping for smaller locks than bigger locks was because I wanted my hair to mimic my loose natural hair. So I want to be able to, you know, flat iron it, put it in flexi rods, you know, things like that. And so that's how that happened. And with my locks, you know, I don't follow the same rules as people with typical locks, because, you know, my locks are so small, my hair acts like natural hair. So why would I treat my hair like locks if it's like natural hair? You know what I'm saying? And so I've kind of taken some rules from when I was a loose natural, and I've combined it with some of the locks laws. And so basically, I told you I do a 2-point rotation. And so as most locks, people who do their own locks will tell you, you're going to want to end your lock on the direction that you want it to lay. So I'm just going back and forth doing a 2-point rotation. And when I want to finish my lock, or when I reach the end of what needs to be tightened, I'm just going to make sure it goes in the direction I want it to lay. So once I get to that point, I'll let you know. I've been locked for about a year now, and I still am retwisting my ends. I don't mind that though. I wanted my ends to still stay loose to some degree, or mostly. I have a couple in the back that are a little bit bigger, and they locked thicker, you know, and so the ends, they still curl up at the ends, but they're not like as curly as these are when I wash them. I'll do a video of like what my hair looks like when I wash my hair. I had a lot of shrinkage in my first year of being locked, and I anticipated that. I'd probably lose about 6 inches from when I started my locks. And that's about right, because what people don't realize, when you start your locks on loose hair and your lock is tightening and forming, you know, it's gonna shrink up on itself. You're gonna have like negative length. It's gonna be like, okay, so say this is my twisted lock, right? And over time, you know, it's tightening, so it's gonna kind of that's what happens, and then it gets like firm. That's what happens. That's how the locks tend to form. And so I was anticipating some, you know, my locks getting shorter the first year, and they did. Also, what happened my first year is, as those locks, you know, tightened and formed, they were all uneven. My hair was so uneven. And it's still not perfectly even, but it's a lot better than it was before. Like, I had some parts of my hair that were like 3-4 inches longer than other parts of my hair. So not too long ago, I went in and trimmed my locks so that they were mostly all one length. And so the ones in the very back are still the shortest, but most of my hair is about the same length now. So right now I'm finished this lock. This lock has been tightened to the tip. So now I'm going to finish it with the last rotation. I want it to face this way. So you see me pushing it through this way. And done. Okay, so that's one. All right, so let's take another. Let's go through another. Now, I retighten my locks. I don't normally say, like, here's one little spot. Just want you to see each lock has to have its own little space. See? Okay. So how often do I retighten? So I don't really say like I retighten every month. I retighten every inch. So as soon as I have an inch, I know it's time to retighten my locks. That could be, it averages like every other month. You know, I have like an inch to an inch and a half of hair. I don't let it get past an inch and a half. I don't even want to like play and see what would happen if I let my new growth get past an inch and a half. Like, that just scares me. Because when you don't like retighten your locks, when you have way too much new growth, you risk your locks, new growth, locking together. And I really love my locks. I do not want them locking together. Like, I don't want the new growth just causing havoc on my locks. So I definitely am pretty militant about my retightening. You know, and so I know that like if I finish tightening my hair in December, like mid-December, then I know that by like February I'm going to be retightening. I don't know which weekend it's going to be, but I just gauge how much hair I have and then I go. So when I am retightening my hair, it takes me about 48 hours to, is it 48? 24 hours, sorry, 24 hours to retighten my whole head. And so it's like, if you break it up, it usually takes me about a week to do. There have been weekends where I knocked it out in a weekend. Like, I woke up early on Saturday morning and did it. Or I woke up like, you know, early Saturday and Sunday and retightened my locks and just did it, went through. But that doesn't happen that often. I usually kind of just break it up. And I'll tell you why. When you start getting tired, you start making mistakes. And you don't want to be tired and taking it out on your precious, gorgeous hair. Like, that's the worst thing that you can do. Like, even if your hair is loose and you have 4C hair, do not do your hair when you're in a bad mood. Don't touch your hair when you're in a bad mood. Go put some moisturizer on it and put a bonnet on and go read a book or watch a show or something. Or, you know, meditate. Don't take it out on your hair. The last thing you want to do when you're upset is touch your hair. Okay? So if I'm upset, if I'm sleepy, if I'm tired, if I'm frustrated, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say, okay, loves, I'm going to put y'all to sleep right now. And that's it. So, so don't touch your hair when you're, you know, in a bad mood or frustrated. So that's usually why I spread it out, so that I take my time. You know, I find a show or an audiobook or something, and I enjoy the process. I always tell my friends, they're like, oh my God, that takes so much time. You take so much time. I'm just like, I don't see it like that. It's like, you know how people like to crochet and how people like to like knit and stuff? Well, I see it the same way. It's just that like every couple months, I'm making myself, you know, a blanket on my head. You know? And that's the way I think about it. And then every month, you know, every time I finish my hair, it feels like completion. It feels like, oh, I did that. You know, and which which can be really like nice and helpful sometimes, you know, when you're in a rough time or a rough streak, just having something to feel like you've accomplished. I don't know. I love it. I love retightening my hair. I'm a weirdo. So if you don't like crocheting or you don't like projects like that, like, you know, I wouldn't recommend getting microlocs. You know, if you're not that kind of person who can, like, okay, this is the way that I gauged it for myself. I was the kind of person where every couple months I would like put my hair in box braids or crochet twists or something. Right? So I would spend a lot of time with my hands like this, you know, styling my hair. So if you already do that as a natural, and that's like kind of your thing, like you're known as the girl who always come into work with the different hairstyles, that was me. Anyhow, so if you're that girl, you kept life interesting in the office. So if you're that girl, then you're probably, you know, gonna do well with your microlocs because there's so little maintenance outside of that. So you'll probably do well with microlocs. If you're the kind of person who is always at the hair salon, if you're the kind of person who just, you know, somebody always hands in their hair, then, you know, you may want to make sure you have a loctician, you know, already ready to do your whole situation for you, or the maintenance at least, because I don't know any locticians who do locks this small. I can imagine it would be really, really expensive. Because when I was originally looking at doing mine, I was like, oh, do I want sisterlocks? And I knew that they still weren't as small as I wanted them to be. And so I was like, if it's already looking like $6,000, I was like, ooh, I don't know. That's not going to be for me. I'm going to do it myself. So anyhow, be realistic with yourself. If your hand's always in your head, you're always changing up your hairstyles, you like doing box braids and, you know, those individuals and stuff like that, then, you know, this might be for you. If you don't like that stuff and you don't like those types of hairstyles, then, you know, there might be a different style that'll work better for you. So another question I get a lot is how I wash my locks. So from the jump, like, because I said I break the rules, right? I don't follow all the lock rules because my hair doesn't necessarily act like, you know, regular locks. So I take some of the lock suggestions. So my first time washing my hair, I did wash it in sections. I did wash it in braids. But I also used conditioner. I never stopped using conditioner in my hair. Now, before y'all get all excited, I didn't go like drenching my hair in conditioner like I did when I would, you know, wash my hair when I had loose hair, because I used almost a whole bottle of conditioner every time I washed my hair when my hair was loose, when it was a loose natural. No. What I do is I put some conditioner on my hands, and then I add water, and then I kind of make a little watery substance, and then I just like press it, and then I like separate my hair, and then I, you know, press, and I get it all worked in, you know. But from day one, you know, I always condition my hair. Did I see a lot of like unraveling from that? I did, but not from that. It was just gonna unravel anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no unraveling to the very top. I had no lock completely unravel out of my head. That did not happen. I did not. I did have like I was retwisting the ends of my hair a lot, especially in the first, you know, couple reties. I was spending the majority of my time, not the majority, but at least half of the time, like retwisting the ends, you know. And you get to a point where the ends just kind of start sticking together. I still have to retwist them sometimes, but I don't mind it, you know. It's not a problem. I mean, like I said, I don't mind maintaining my hair. I didn't get locks because I was trying to get out of doing work in my hair. That's not why I got it. Like, I knew my hands were going to be in my hair a lot doing my locks. But anyhow, yeah, I wasn't trying to escape work by getting locks. I was hoping to achieve, not even achieve, I just really loved the look of small locks. I just think they have a pattern about them that is just so, I don't know, it's just beautiful to me. Like, I'll show you. I was at a wedding and I saw this lady and she had sisterlocks. They were bigger than my microlocs, but they were smaller than your typical sisterlocks, right? And she had her hair like braided, like she had it like in a swoop. But let me just show you, like there's something about this that I just find so pretty. Something about like the way that the hair, like, I just think, I don't know, all those defined little locks, I just think they were so pretty. That's why I wanted not because I was trying to escape work. A lot of people are like, oh, I gotta get dressed because I'm not trying to have my, that's not why I got mine. So I'm not in that group of people who got locks because they were trying to not have to touch their hair. I like touching my hair. I like doing like random things to my hair. And it's funny because since I've had locks, I have just been like hair over one side and out the door. Like, I would usually do so many different styles and I was all over the place, and I've just been really enjoying them so much that I haven't even really been that adventurous in terms of styling. And so I think this channel is probably going to make me a little bit more adventurous just for y'all, just to, you know, so you all can see, I should get down a little bit. So you all can just see the flexibility and, you know, all of that comes with this type of style. And so, you know, I'll be sharing it with you all. Is there anything else I wanted to share in this first video? Let me think. How do I sleep with my locks? I use a satin scarf, and I have a satin cap. I tend to prefer scarves because, well, it depends on what I'm trying to achieve, right? If I'll wrap my hair to go to sleep. I'll show y'all that. I'll show you my nighttime routine, but I will like wrap my hair and then put a like cap over it, or a silk wrap or a silk tie over it, and go to sleep. I'll wear a bonnet sometimes. I'll wear just, you know, wear like a bandana around it, you know, a silk like scarf, but just like tied like that. So I do that. Silk pillow, I try, but unless my hair is in braids or something, it's just counterproductive. Just counterproductive because my hair wake up and it's all bent in a lot of different shapes and directions. A lot of people use water in their hair every day. I do not. I don't. Water tends to shrink my hair, and you know, once your hair is stretched, I'm like, why would I want to shrink it again? So no, I don't use water in my hair. I also don't use water in my hair because sometimes I will stretch my hair out on purpose. Like right now, my hair is in a stretch state. Like I said, I never followed the rules. I never followed the rules. So there'll be times where I'll do a rod set after I wash my hair. There'll be times when I do a braid out. There'll be times where I'll stretch it out with like ribbons or cloths, or I'll show you all of that. And then there are times where I'll flat iron my hair. I will straight up just flat iron it. Like I said, I treat it like it's my natural hair. And when I was a 4C loose natural, not saying I did this all the time, but my hair had no problem with a little bit of heat. And so I would probably flat iron or blow out my hair, I don't know, like once every other month. And so when I started my locks, I was surprised at how beautifully they react with the same exact things that my hair did when it was loose. So, oh, just another thing before we close out. Normally, I will just go straight in a line and I'll pull out the line of, oops, let me see. I'll pull out the straight, I'll go in straight lines as I'm doing my hair. I just didn't pull it out. I just didn't do that for you guys. I was so close to the front I could see everything. But when I can't really see, you know, where I am, then I definitely will separate them out. And so I have the different sections so they don't get combined. So and I usually will use something to tie back my hair. I'll usually have my hair in sections. I'll do another video when I'm actually retightening my hair, but I'll like from scratch. But I usually have it in sections, and then I just have a little corner at a time, and I just work on one little corner at a time. So that is it for my retightening video. I'll probably let me do one more for you all, just so you can see the root and everything. I want to show you how loose the root is. Okay, the root is really loose. Do you see? So let's go. I'm gonna start off by putting the needle, like threading my hair, and then we're gonna go in all the way up. In all the way up. And we're just going to keep on going. I just want you all to see one rotation. Sometimes you'll feel little pieces get caught in. You just have to remove them. Just pull them apart. Pull them out of your lock. They don't belong. So yeah, that's basically how it's done. I hope you can see my fingers moving. You see it getting gradually shorter. Not shorter, less hair is loose. Just gonna keep on going till we reach the end. Like I said, I'm just doing the 2-point rotation. And you can see that you get a little bit more control over the whole process when you're using this flexible, bendy, tool for relocking your hair. I guess I should just call it a needle. They're all needles. Alright, so I want my hair to end going in this direction, so there she goes. I feel like there's a little bit more space, so I'm just gonna plug one more. See? Plop. And she's done. Alright, I hope you enjoyed. For you all who don't know, I'm also a musician, so go ahead and if you're interested in some good vibes, my music channel is Rakia Rae, Rakiaarae. Alright, I love you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos.